So, good morning, my dear friends. I hope you all are doing great. Let us start today's session. So, my dear friends, we'll be talking about the expansion of gas in vacuum. And everybody should know that. Let's take on one system here and look here. This system has been kept in a vacuum. Correct? So, in vacuum, there is no air. And if we talk of the P external pressure will be zero, my dear friends. Because in vacuum, no air is there. So the atmospheric pressure, or we can say external pressure, will be zero. Okay? So what happens? Let us suppose I have an ideal gas in this system. But internal pressure will be due to which gas? Ideal gas, but external pressure, if you look, external pressure is zero. That means internal pressure has to do the work against external pressure, which is zero. That means if this gas has to expand, then what happens? Internal pressure should be greater than external pressure, and we know that external pressure is zero. So opposite force is nothing, but this internal pressure will make the piston to move upwards without any effort. Why? Because external pressure is zero. So gas can move by itself spontaneously. Yes, because the external pressure is zero, my dear friends. So if we will write down the expression of a work irreversible, that is minus P delta V. This is P external, my dear friends. And if we look at P external here, that is zero in case of vacuum. So what is work irreversible equal to? Minus 0 into delta V, and that is nothing but zero. So work done, irreversible work done in a particular system by an ideal gas, yes, against the external pressure zero, will be zero here. So no work is done because the piston will move by itself because external pressure is zero. Are you following my point or not, my dear friends? So if I will write down the concept of change in internal energy. Change in internal energy is equal to Q plus W. That is our first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics. And we know that the work irreversible is here zero. So what I will get? Delta U is equal to Q. Then work irreversible is zero. So I'll put zero here. Finally I will get delta U is equal to Q. And what is the meaning of this? Change in internal energy is equal to the heat absorbed by the system. Q is here plus. So I will write down heat absorbed by the system, okay, is equal to change in internal energy. So this was the expansion of gas in vacuum, my dear friends. Please make note of this. So dear friends, let's talk about now isothermal irreversible change. So have a look here. And remember, in isothermal process, what happens, my dear friends? Temperature will be constant. So when temperature is constant, the change in temperature is zero. And we know that internal energy, you should remember, internal energy depends upon temperature. So change in internal energy will be also zero. So my dear friends, here the change in internal energy will be zero. So remember, for isothermal process, temperature is constant. That means change in temperature is zero. Internal energy depends upon temperature. so the change in internal energy will be also 0, because temperature change is 0, change in temperature is 0, so internal energy change will be also 0. If we apply now here, let's take on the first law of thermodynamics. When we take first law of thermodynamics, you know that for isothermal process, delta U is equal to 0. So I'll write down for isothermal process. Okay. Delta U is equal to 0. So let's put the delta U value here. Delta U is 0 for isothermal process. So 0 is equal to Q plus W. We can also write down Q is equal to minus W. What is the meaning of this? Heat absorbed by system is equal to minus W, means work done by the system is equal to work done by the system. So remember that particular point, my dear friends. Now, as you have remembered this particular point that Q is equal to minus W, it means heat absorbed by system is equal to work done by the system. If I put here now minus and here plus, that means work done on the system is equal to the heat lost by the system. When you are doing work on the system, then simultaneously the system is also losing the heat. Please make note of this. So my dear friends, I hope that you have made the note of this particular thing. So let's go further in the same statement here, that Q is equal to minus W. If I will write down here Q is equal to minus W, and we know the expression of the work, my dear friends. What is the expression of work? Everybody knows work is equal to minus P external delta V. This is the expression. So let us put this expression for W here. So I'll get Q is equal to minus, in place of W, my dear friends, I will write down minus P external delta V. So I will get here Q is equal to P external delta V. And remember, we know that this is nothing but this is minus W. So even I can write down a statement minus W here. That means, my dear friends, so minus W is nothing but P external delta V. So overall statement will come like this now, my dear friends. That means heat absorbed by the system is equal to the work done by the system. So remember that particular point. So my dear friends, now we have isothermal reversible change. I told you for isothermal process, we have just spoken that temperature is constant. When temperature is constant, change in temperature is 0. And we know that internal energy depends on temperature. Change in temperature is 0, so change in internal energy is also 0. We have already spoken about it. Now here we are talking about a reversible change. Okay? Now let us talk about now the first law of thermodynamics here, because we got delta U as 0. So if we use the first law of thermodynamics, that's Q plus W. Okay? So in place of delta U, we can write down 0 here. So 0 is equal to Q plus W, which means Q is equal to minus W, my dear friends. But we know that the work is here. Look here, the work is reversible. Yes? When we have irreversible work, we can use minus P external delta V. If the work is basically reversible, then we have to use the expression minus 2.303. Let me write it here, little down. Minus 2.303 nRT log Vf upon Vi. This is the statement. So work is here reversible. So change is reversible. So I will write down work as reversible here. Yes. And we know that Q is equal to minus W. So let me write down here. Q is equal to minus W, but that W is here basically reversible. And we know the reversible work. Look here. This is the reversible work. If you focus here. Reversible work is, let's keep this minus here only, and in place of W, this W, my dear friends, which is equal to, work reversible is equal to minus 2 point. So minus 2.303 nRT log Vf upon Vi. So finally Q is equal to minus work reversible is equal to minus into minus is plus 2.303 nRT log Vf upon Vi. So my dear friend, this is the isothermal reversible change. Like you have calculated now here the value of Q, which is equal to the work done by the system, and its value is 2.303 nRT log Vf by Vi. Now we can also transfer this equation or transform this equation actually. So let's have a look how can we transform this equation. If we use Boyle's law, my dear friends, in states of matter we will discuss about Boyle's law. But here I will give a little idea about Boyle's law. According to Boyle's law, you should remember that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is constant. That product of pressure and volume at initial state. This is the initial state of the system. So product of pressure and volume at initial state is equal to the product of pressure and volume at final state. That means their values are constant. Let us suppose if we get here value as 10, here should be also value equal to 10, and that's constant. If you get a value here, product of pressure and volume is 100, let us suppose 100 liter atmosphere. This should be also 100 liter atmosphere. If this is 1000 liter atmosphere, this should be also 1000 liter atmosphere. Both are constant, my dear friends. So remember this expression. This expression for Boyle's law, and remember in Boyle's law now, it's a basically isothermal process. Means here the temperature is constant. So Boyle's law is taken at constant temperature. So at constant temperature. So it's isothermal, relationship between pressure and volume. This can be also written as P1 upon P2 is equal to V2 upon V1. This expression 1 here stands for initial and 2 stands for final. I can write down P initial upon P final is equal to V final upon V initial. So my dear friends, now you have understood that P initial upon P final is equal to V final upon V initial. So in place of this now, have a look my dear friends. In place of this statement, Vf upon Vi. So Vf upon Vi, yes, their ratio is also constant, my dear friends, remember that. Vf upon Vi is equal to Pi by Pf. So in place of this, I can write down now Q is equal to minus W reversible is equal to 2.303 nRT, then log, in place of Vf by Vi we can write down Pi by Pf, Pi upon Pf, my dear friends. I hope you have understood, my dear friends. And one more statement I would like to add on here. As far as Boyle's law is concerned, my dear friends, we know that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. We can also write down, according to ideal gas equation, if you remember, PV is equal to nRT. This is ideal gas equation. So P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So can I write down that they are equal to nRT and equal to K? K stands for constant. That means number of moles should be also constant, and this is the ideal gas constant, and temperature should be also constant. So number of moles should be fixed here. So if we have fixed number of moles, and R is basically a universal gas constant, it's also a constant only, and T is basically constant, temperature is also constant because it's an isothermal process. So when we know that these two products are equal to nRT, so that means in place of this nRT, my dear friends, I can introduce P1 V1 or I can introduce P2 V2. So my equation will become like this now. Q is equal to minus work reversible is equal to 2.303. In place of nRT, I can write down P1 V1 log of Vf by Vi, or you can write down Pi by Pf. It's your choice. Let's write down Vf upon Vi. So that's my expression. One more expression I can derive here. Remember, this nRT should be constant. Number of moles should be fixed. R is ideal gas constant and T is the temperature. It's an isothermal process, so temperature is also constant. Now in place of this nRT, my dear friends, or in place of now P1 V1, we know that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So I can write down now Q is equal to minus work reversible is equal to 2.303 P2 V2 log of V up by Vi. This V up by Vi can be changed by Pi by Pf. So it's up to us. So I hope you have understood, my dear friends, these expressions for isothermal reversible change. Please make note of this. So dear friends, let's understand two more terms here. Work done on this adiabatic system. Adiabatic system. Let's have one more factor here. Work done on the system containing diathermic wall. So let us see, my dear friends. And obviously adiabatic system will have adiabatic wall, that we know. Look here, my dear friends. So let us suppose this wall is here adiabatic. So no exchange of heat is possible. No exchange of heat between system and surroundings. Correct? So let's keep one ideal gas here. So if we are doing work on the system, so it's P external. So that means P external should be greater than P external is greater than P internal. Work is done on the system. Correct? That is compression will happen. So work is done on the system. Okay. The temperature of the system will increase and internal energy will also increase. So my dear friends, we are doing work on the system, that's compression. The temperature of the system will increase and internal energy of system will also increase and internal energy will also increase, correct? So now inside this system, okay, we have an ideal gas here, my dear friends. By doing the work of compression, the temperature of system has increased. Okay, so temperature of the system has increased. That's why we are saying that when work is done on the system, it is taken as what? Positive. Because here the temperature of the system has increased. Now the ideal gas inside this system is at high temperature. So when the temperature is very high inside, what will happen? The heat will try to flow outside. But we know that we have here adiabatic wall. So heat will remain inside only. Heat will not come out. So my dear friends, heat cannot come out of the system because the wall is adiabatic. That means if you are applying the pressure on the system, the temperature of system increases, correct? And internal energy of the system will also increase, my dear friends. And now heat cannot come out. Yes or no, my dear friends? So there is no exchange of heat between system and surroundings. So the temperature, final temperature will be greater than initial temperature. So remember always, one more point I have mentioned here, as system is at higher temperature than surroundings, but heat does not flow. It does not flow from system to surroundings. The reason is that is that system contains adiabatic wall. So system contains adiabatic wall, so heat will not flow out. Correct? So let's talk about now diathermic wall. So let's do the work on the system containing diathermic wall. We know that diathermic wall, heat exchange between system and surroundings takes place. So if we take a particular system here, and this wall is a diathermic wall, that is suppose I am putting some pressure on it, and again here P external should be greater than P internal, and here I am taking an ideal gas. So same thing will happen, my dear friends. In this process also, the temperature will increase here. Okay? So obviously, when work is done on the system, the temperature of system should increase. So when work is done on the system, yes or no, the temperature of system should increase and internal energy should also increase. But if I tell you that the temperature of system remains constant, what is the meaning of that? Have a look here. Let's write down it in a very simple way here. Let's suppose let us suppose 1 kilojoule of work is done on the system. Correct? And the equal amount of energy, that means 1 kilojoule, and the equal amount of energy is released through diathermic wall into the surroundings. Yes? So how much of work you are doing on the system? Let's suppose you are doing 1 kilojoule of work, okay, is done on the system. And by doing work on system, what should happen? Temperature of system should increase and internal energy of system should also increase, correct? But if I tell you that temperature and internal energy remains constant, how they will remain constant in this case of diathermic wall when is present in the system? Have a look. Let us suppose 1 kilojoule of work is done on the system and the equal amount of energy, which energy is released through diathermic wall. It is basically the heat energy is released through diathermic wall into the surroundings. Then temperature and internal energy of the system will remain constant. So there will be no change in the internal energy and temperature of the system. Here I was doing the work on the system in case of adiabatic system. And when work was done on the system, internal energy of the system was increasing, temperature of system was increasing, correct? And heat was not transferred from system to surroundings because wall was adiabatic wall. So we have here adiabatic wall. But in case of a diathermic wall, if I do work on the system, what will happen? Internal energy of the system at beginning will increase. Internal energy of the system will increase at the beginning. So then that increase in internal energy, yes, then that internal energy which is increasing or temperature which is increasing, okay, will provide some heat energy to the surroundings. Or in simple words I can tell, the work done on the system, okay, how much of work I am doing? 1 kilojoule of work on the system is equal to the heat lost by the system. So heat is coming out of the system. 1 kilojoule of work is done, the same amount of heat is coming out of the system. So work done is equal to heat lost by the system. So in that case, the internal energy and the temperature of the system will remain constant. So in simple statement, I will just tell you now. Internal energy and temperature of system will remain constant when work done on the system is equal to the heat lost by the system through diathermic wall. So please make note of this. I hope you have understood. So my dear friends, take care of yourself. Have a great time. Thank you.